There we go. Good morning, Jersey. Hey, Richard Jarvis. Back at it, yeah. I don't know. I don't guess I got enough of the skunk yesterday, so I came back to see if I could smell some more of him today, Jersey. I got on this right pole, I got a hand-sized bluegill live out there about, it's rocks. I don't know. Y'all saw some of these rocks yesterday here. I tried to throw it where it would come back in close to those rocks because that's where the bluegill would be swimming around. So that's where I tried to put the bluegill. I'll leave him there till I get ready to go home if he don't get a bite because I'm sure I'm hung up and I don't want to tear anything. I don't want to tear it up at once. On the pole on the left, I got a skipjack head starting off with this morning. I threw it way out there. Yep, that's where I am. No, I didn't catch anything yesterday. I got a few bites, little old small fish bites, but I came back today with some live bait, and that ain't, you're not gonna get any taps on live bait. You're either gonna get a good fish or miss a good fish, or nothing. So on this right pole, I got that big bluegill. He's big as my hand. He's been pulling that line around out there. He kind of settled down now. I got him. I got him on one of those Hawaiian slide rigs where you cast your weight out. I don't know. Lance McCoo guy promotes them. I don't know if you've seen his video or not. But anyway, I bought some of those slide rigs. They're pretty neat. You cast your weight out there where you want it, and then it's got a gizmo that attaches your hook and your bait to the line, and you turn it loose, and it slides out and goes down to the weight or down to the where you want to stop it down there. It's pretty neat. So when you cast live bait, you throw your line out, let it settle in good. Get your line, your pole, and your rod holding all. Reach up there and get your line. Take that little gizmo and put it on your line and turn it loose, and down yonder it goes. So the bait don't go through all that shock of that cast and slinging a chance of slinging him off and all that. It's a pretty neat rig. I'll tell you, I like it. When you got current, I caught so much flack yesterday about fishing with one pole. I brought two today. Peer pressure. I don't know what's going on here. I got a construction company boat pulled up over here and parked, and they doing something. Maybe I'll turn around. Well, I don't know if y'all can see it or not. You probably can. I'll swing it around and let you see it. I don't know if you can see that, but that's a big crane on there and a drag line. I mean, a super drag line. I don't know what they fixing to do over there. But that's where I was going to fish this morning. Oh, I had thought about it. I went over there yesterday to try to catch some skipjacks after I got quit fishing. But I'm glad I didn't get here early and get over there. There's a strike on that head on the left over there. Little taps. I'm going to end up putting another bluegill on there. Sure as the world. That's all they do, though, Jersey. I can't get one of them to just come on and take it. That dang little old fish. This corner must be full of them. I mean, a 3-pound fish will take a skipjack head and run off with it. A 3-pound fish. Well, what are these things here? Half a pound? 4 inches long? Hey, Lisa. Good morning. Hey, Lisa, how much of Nick Brownell did you listen to last night? Yeah, well, I've been skunked so much, my wife makes me sleep under the carport. I can't even wash it off. I smell so bad from the skunk. And I've been suffering with it. And the problem is, I think that this spot here and this spot and this place I fish up by the river bridge, man, that looks like good water to me. I don't know. I don't know if I need better bait or what. But I get these little old taps. Yeah, I know the pain. It ain't pain, it stinks. ain't pain, man. It stink. Stevie LePew. I don't reckon Lisa Lee gonna answer my question. I'm out here in shorts and now the wind's blowing. I'm fixing to go put on a coat. It's supposed to be 74 degrees here. Hey, Dallas. Yeah, I need it. I need a good bar of soap. You got any recommendations for me in Jersey, Catter? We done got skunk so much we smelling like skunk and we can't get it off. What do we need? How we get the skunk off? As a provider, yeah, yeah. When you smell like we smell, Jersey, it's a divider. Yeah, we are dividers. We get stay divided. The skunk is so bad. Oh, look at that brim moving around. Something may be after him. That pole on the right. Hope y'all can see it good. It's got a bluegill on it the size of my palm of my. I mean, he's big enough to fillet. Go to hand cleaner. I might have to. Some of that with pumice in it and scrub deep. Cause that skunk smell is running deep on me. I always like it when live bait starts moving around. It means sometimes it means something's watching them. Brown soap. Brown soap. I don't know. I've seen them in my when I was real young. They used to make lye soap, but I never seen brown, and it was kind of white. That may have been brown soap. It did have a little tint to it. Gojo smells like oranges. Well, oranges smell better than skunk. Okay, Jersey. Well, I know two things. Both of those poles are out. The bait's out where the fish can find it because I've had bites on the pole on the left and the pole on the right. That bluegill moving around some. So he's above the rocks, and my skipjack head is above the rocks. So that's a good thing. I wish I knew what this construction crew was fixing to do over here. They may just be parking. There's 3B. Yeah, 3B. I went in there last night and tried to make some more mods, and I couldn't remember how to do it. Ah, Lord, I'm so stupid. I'm worse than Chunky. I'm a big dummy, too. I couldn't remember how to do it. I fooled around with that thing for 15, 20 minutes. I said, the heck with it. If somebody comes in here causing trouble, I just cut it off. Oh, man. Come on, fish. Big fish. Big fish. CBA. I don't know why CBA, but when I look at your name, all I can see is Central Valley Authority. I can't see Adventures. I see Authority. Like the Tennessee Valley Authority. Steve, small time. Is anybody else fishing this morning on YouTube? I sure hope so, 3B. If you talking to me, I need one. I need about a 50 pounder. I believe I could land a 50, maybe a 60. I believe I could land a 60. I don't know. If it gets over 60, I don't know what I'll do. But I know one thing, that right pole got 50-pound test line on it. And it's got a bluegill big as my hand, a fillet-sized bluegill, alive. So if anything happens over there, it ought to be a good one. Well, thank you. I thank you for the confidence, 3B. I need it. Yeah. Me either, CVA. That's what me and Jersey Cattle were talking about before you got here. We smell so bad from skunks. We trying to find a new soap where we can get back in the house. I think maybe the only thing gonna get the skunk off of me is to go to DC and fish with one of them Potomac boys. At least they catch 2 or 3 fish, 4 or 5. We ain't catching nothing down here. I even got on the internet last night to see if there's any pay lakes around Mississippi I could go to. I'm ready to see a fish on the bank. I got a bucket full of live bait over here. I ought to. I don't know. That's what I should have done. Brought 2 or 3 more poles and put live bait out here, all of them down this bank. Okay, Stevie. Well, if you find one that'll get the skunk off, let us know, man. Cause what I'm using ain't working. I'm stink so bad the birds won't even land in the tree beside me. Tomato sauce. Lord have mercy. How much would that cost? Oh boy. Hey Lance. Lance, I put that slide rig to use this morning on that right pole. I got a bluegill big enough to fillet. He's a big one. And this bank is rock, got rocks all the way down to the bottom of the river. And I threw the weight out there and I slid that bluegill down that line. He cuts up a little bit every once in a while. That was the very reason I wanted to get some of those things. I'm finally using them for the reason I bought them. Send that live bait out there. Okay, don't work too hard. I tell you what I've done. I went up to Wheeler about 10 years ago and bought $100 worth of skipjacks. I didn't even see the lake. I bought them from a fella that sells them up there. There was 3 of us. We bought, I think we bought $100, $200, $200 worth. We had 5 coolers full. But I've been across Lake Wheeler, but I never fished there. In fact, the mouth of Lake Ferguson, where I caught that fish in that tournament that night, is the only time I ever really fished the lake. I don't fish in those lakes. I don't fish reservoirs. I don't fish big lakes. If the water ain't moving, constantly moving, I don't fool with it. What are you talking about? How many? You talking to me about how many did we get? Skipjacks? Is that what you talking about? Oh yeah, it's big fish in Wheeler, but you got to have the high dollar electronics and high dollar trolling motors. You got to be a professional. You got to have the $7,000-8,000 worth of auxiliary or accessories to fish those big reservoirs and be real successful. Yes, I don't know. We bought 5 coolers full. I think that was 2013. We went up there. I believe it was 2013, 8 years ago, 8, 9 years ago. And I came down with cancer about 2 months later, and had to throw $100 worth of skipjacks away. Then I went all the way to 4 or 5 hours, 5 or 6 hours to buy. And that made me kind of upset. There you go. Yeah, go down there and catch some fish. Get that skunk off. Three Beto skipjacks up there that we bought. We bought them by let me think. Let's see, bought them by the pound. That's right. And they were monsters. Great old big skipjacks. So numbers wise, we didn't get a whole lot of numbers. We got the pounds. He sells them by the pound, but he don't take good care of them when he catches them. When I was catching, when we had skipjacks plentiful here, I keep bottles of water frozen, and you try to keep that skipjack dry. And as soon as you catch him, you put him on that ice, on them bottles of ice, and he'll stay fresh a long time. Then you get home, and I don't have a vacuum sealer, but I got a uh, air mattress pump. And they got a reverse on them to suck the air out of those air mattresses. And you put them in those freezer bags and stick that thing in there and zip it up real quick. It sucks it down just about like a vacuum sealer. Not quite as good, but it does a real good job. But my skipjacks, when I freeze them, stay fresh a long time. These weren't. I think he just caught them and threw them in a cooler with no ice or anything. I was kind of disappointed in the quality. Well, I was real disappointed in the quality, matter of fact. But I keep my bait on ice and not ice on ice bottles. I don't want them getting wet. Lisa, let me ask you again now. How long did you listen to Nick Brownell last night? Yeah. Did you hear him play Tennessee Whiskey? Oh Lord, okay. That was a that was the first time I heard him play it where he really tried to. Somebody play, gave him $100 to play it, and he really did a good job on it. He usually just kind of goes through it because he don't really like the song. He loved Johnny Cash and Waylon Jennings, Roy Orbison. Dalton, I had his. No, okay. This is how you can listen to him. Willie T's bar, Willie, WILLIE, Willie T, apostrophe S, bar. He plays on Sunday nights from 9 to 12, 12:30. On Tuesday nights, he plays at the Smoking Tuna about the same time. It's 9 o'clock Eastern now. It's 8 o'clock. It's it's 9 o'clock Eastern, and the rest of the time he's not on a live cam. He plays at a, I can't remember the name of the place, but he pretty much plays at, it's a big bar down there. That's his main gig. But Sunday nights and Tuesday nights, the only nights I can hear him. But now, Smoking Tuna's on every night. I mean, they live, but Brian L is by far the best entertainer in Key West. When he wants to be. Yeah, he spent 14 years in Nashville. So that's where I met Shandy. You know, she comes in the chats now a little bit. That's where I ran into Shandy, was in at Willie T's in the chat room. Channel called Paradise Point, Lurkers Lounge, in there all the time. And she plays music, has music playing. That's Father Christmas again. There's Blaine Adams. Hey, son. I don't know about the deer. The catfish seem to be on lockdown. 2 coyotes this morning. one behind the other coming across the field. Y'all, that's my son here that lived down in Jackson, Blaine. His youngest son likes to fish, but I can't get him to bring him up here and let him fish with me. They scared I'll teach him bad habits. Blaine, I ain't that killing far from you. I'm in Myersville. Thank you, Rich. Y'all are Mississippi River catfish. Blaine, your mama needs some help at home. Oh, sorry, husband spent too much time fishing. She needs the ballast put in. Yeah, well, she wants that ballast fixed in that kitchen. A ballast, and lights, fluorescent lights or whatever you call them. I hadn't got the patient to fix it yet. I got me a rag over this telephone trying to keep it from going dim on me today. I don't know how it's going to work. A ballast, Ballast. I bet she would gladly make you a sweet potato pie with sugar in it. She makes them both ways, She makes one with sugar and one without sugar. This wind is bugging me. That ain't sweet potato though. That's pumpkin, isn't it? Yeah, that's pumpkin pie she makes both ways, with and without sugar. Oh man, that was funny. All right, fish. Blaine, I saw that video of Emmy walking Q up to that fence and climbing up and getting up on him and riding him bareback. That was cute. Three B, that's my son, Blaine. Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. Thank you, Father Christmas. Good luck to you. Watch your treetops and don't get stuck in any chimneys. Thank you for stopping by, man. Blaine, have you killed a deer yet? Or any of your crew? Tap, tap. Lord have mercy. Hey, Michael Williams. Thank you. I need it. Appreciate you stopping in. Yep, we trying it again. 6 hours yesterday and nothing, and looked like we headed that way today. I tell you how bad it is. John Parker even outfishes me. No, he out catches me. He don't outfish me. He out catches me. But he is a professional catfish angler, so I guess it ain't so bad. Hoo-hoo. 74 degrees here today in Mississippi. We're going to be in for some storms, folks. I don't know where they're going to go this time, but I believe for sure they're coming. Lord, I hope they're not bad. Let's see if I can read that. Boy, this glare. Okay, see you, Dallas. Sure, thank you for stopping in, man. Bluegill getting a little excited on the right pole. I'm going to turn this camera a minute and check on something. Trying to get where I can see the screen a little better. The glare from the sun is tough. I'm going to show y'all this little old battery pack. It's a pretty neat little old deal. I know it'll run this phone for 6 hours. At least 6 hours. Probably a lot longer than that. But I like that little old thing for daytime live streaming. Mm. Come on, fish. I can't figure out what that construction crew is planning on doing over there. I don't know. They planning on working here, or if they just pulled in here waiting on something. I can't see much activity going on. It'll take them a while to fix that boom and put all that together. But that's a monstrosity of a drag line. That's the kind of thing that Dynamo Creations runs, I think. It's a big one. The co-engineers has a drag line that they haul. It comes in 3 trucks. And the pilot house and all on that drag line, it has a break room in it. It's so big. It's I think it's 2 people that work on it, the operator and then I guess they call him an oiler. But that thing's got a break room on it. It's so big. They put it on a barge, or sometimes they run it from the bank. But that is a monster. I've seen it run some. In fact, is he gonna get it? In fact, I had a good friend that ran it for years. Well, he was one of the operators. Yeah, let's see. Glare got me. See what 3B said. This is gonna be tough. Lord, I just can't see it. 3B. Lord, I just can't see it. The glare is so bad, and you know the trouble I have reading this stuff. Are the fish just uh, are the fish just lazy? These oh, I don't know what they are. I think I might have one over here. No. 3B, I think my my thoughts on it. My thoughts are that the fish are transitioning. This water here, the other day the water was 49, 50 degrees. I had a fella in a boat. I hollered at the shipstop that I knew, and he told me what his depth finder was saying the temperature was. And it was 50 degrees, and it made it as low as 49 and a half. And I think that these fish are transitioning from the just roaming, and feeding and carrying on to the deep water, getting ready for winter time. And they've all moved to the areas of their deep holes where they overwinter. As Stan 2 says, they moved to their comfortable places. But they're not staying there, they're feeding there and around the edges and close. They stay hanging close. And from the bank, you just can't get to those places. You got to have a boat if you're not on this river now, not the smaller rivers. Even if you can find one of those holes, you got to have bank access, and that ain't the easiest thing to get on the Mississippi River. There's so much private land owned up and down each side. And the fish are just not out moving and roaming. They're staying close to where they're going to overwinter because the water has gotten colder. Now that's what I think that's going on here. Now, I don't know about everywhere else, but here, I know a couple of holes that are real close to the bank that I've caught big fish in. I mean big fish. I mean 70s, 70 plus, that I know exactly where they are, and I know how to get to them. But the thing is, it's all private land, and it's hunting clubs, and deer season's open, and all of that. You know, that's what I think. Now I don't know that, but that's what I think. And blues, I mean, I'm speaking about blues right now. The flatheads, they get real lazy when it's cold, and they may or may not feed. But the blues, they eat all year long. Winter time is a good time to catch big blues, but you got to be able to get to the overwinter spots, because they're not going to get too far from them. I don't think they're going to stay fairly close. They get in those deep holes and behind those ledges and things, the ledges that run perpendicular to the bank, to the current, and they lay down there, and the dead fish or whatever the fish kills and stuff that float come down this river, they go off in those deep holes. Well, them big fish are laying down in there, and they just lay right in the bottom of them holes and feed around in the hole or behind these perpendicular ledges. They're not in the same places they are in the summertime. And does that make sense to you? I see you understood. You heard what I said. And you said okay. I just wonder if that makes sense to you. You know, there's a hole on the Arkansas bank up at Tunica, Mississippi, that I have no idea how you would get permission to get over on that bank. But it would be real easy to cast to that hole from the bank, real easy. It's not far off the bank, and it's a hole north of Greenville that I've caught a 70 and a 35 out of that hole over the years, and a few 15, 18 feet pound fish. But I guarantee you, it's a big fish laying right in there close to that hole right now. And it's not far. It'd be easy to get to, and it's right against the bank. It'd be no problem to get to it if I could get permission to walk in there to it. And it's not that long a walk from where I'd parked the truck. And these are holes I'm talking about. When you're in a boat, you anchor in 8-foot water, and this is in the main channel now, or off the main channel, the side of the river. You anchor in 8-foot water, drift back, and fish 60-foot water, straight down. I mean, it's just a straight down hole. You drift back, watch the depth finder, and when it drops off, you pull back up on your anchor a little bit to allow for that delay in the depth finder, and fish straight down right out of the back of the boat. And if and sooner or later, you'll get a big fish out of that. Yes, but we need just, let me see what that says. dog is glad. It's just one. Yeah, right. That first 70 pounds, they were about 72 pounds. First over 70-pound fish I caught back in the 90s, I guess, early 90s. I went to this particular hole I was talking about up above Greenville, and I saw that fish laying down in that hole by himself. So I'm on a depth finder and I anchored, and I fished for him for 3 or 4 hours. And I'd let off on that anchor rope and drift back out over that hole, and he was still laying there. And I'd pull back up on the anchor. He never would offer. I went back a day or two later, eased across there, and there he was, still laying down there. And the same thing, he never would offer. And the third time I went in there, I don't know, it was over a period of 2 weeks, I guess. Third time I went up there, he was in the hole, but he had moved back away from the ledge. He wasn't against the ledge. He was back in the hole about 10 yards. So I did exactly the same thing. I dropped that bait right straight down. And it wasn't a minute. I had a fight on my hands. It wasn't even a minute. As soon as I dropped that bait down there, he whammed it. But it took 3 trips to catch him, and that was in October. It was in October. It took 3 fish. It took 3 trips to catch that fish, but he stayed in that hole for 2 weeks. I mean, now I'm sure he got out and wandered around a little bit and moved here and there. But it's all different sitting on the bank. Yeah, just need one. I agree. I sure would like to have one to get this skunk off. Oh, me. I'd like to have one to put on the measuring board. But I listen to Epic talk, and he and I agree on a lot of things, but a lot of things that I hadn't found to be true that he says. I've always, when I was serious big fish fishing, and I didn't have the high dollar. I had good electronics, but I didn't have the high dollar, the $1,000 stuff. I had the $300 or $400 finders. I would just search a hole, and I looked for one fish. I didn't want to see a bunch of fish, because in my experience, and now this is just my experience, when I found 4, 5, or 6 big fish laying in an area, they were all in the 30 to 40 pound range. There wasn't any 80s and 90s. It wasn't big fish wasn't there. It was, I'm not saying big fish. The biggest fish, the big ones, the ones that I was looking for. And I always look for that one solitary fish laying on a spot, whether it was along a ledge or in a hole, in a current seam off of a rock dike. It didn't matter. I always look for that one fish, because my theory on the thing is that big fish is solitary. He doesn't want competition. He don't want anything getting his food, and he won't allow other fish to be around him. It's like a bull in the pasture. Now that's my theory on it. Now they may be laying in a proximity of each other, 100 yards apart, on the same in the same hole, but they just don't like to have company. They solitary, just like big bucks. They got to be big bucks by not running with the crowd. Uh, you know, that crowd mentality will get you killed. And that's always been my take on it. Now that's anchor fishing too. That's not this drift fishing that they do now. That's strictly anchor fishing. But you know, when I was big fish fishing, some days I never would fish. I didn't do anything but ride and look. And if I never did find that one solid, I had learned where all the holes were and the drop offs and this and that and the other. And I'd go look. And if they wasn't there, and by the time I looked at all of them, heck, it might be 2 o'clock in the evening. Well, heck, I went home. Some days I wouldn't even fish. I'd carry the bait, wrap it up, put it in the freezer. But I don't know. That's just my take on it. I don't claim to be a world renowned fisherman. I just know I got a lot of years doing it and caught a lot of big fish. Missed some big monsters. But this bank fishing is all different. Hey, laughing cat. Yeah, back at it. I got 2 poles today, man, and I'm doing so with 2 poles. I'm doing double as bad as I did yesterday. But now this pole on the right got a hand-sized bluegill on it, alive, and the pole on the left's got a skipjack head. That head has had several taps, but and this bluegill has jumped around once or twice, but nothing serious. And this pole on the right's got that slide rig that Lance McCoo guy talks about. I threw the line out and the weight and got it settled in. Then I put the brim on the bluegill on the slide and slid him down out there. So he's in good shape. Chunky, how you doing, man? Yeah, that slide rig's pretty neat if you got current, laughing cat. You got to have current to pull that bait down to the stop down there. But it's a great rig. especially live bait. That's the reason I wanted it, was because of the live bait. When you cast that live bait, sometime when it hits the water, you know, it might tear out or something. But with this slide rig, it works great with live bait. It's made for live bait, I believe. Yeah. Well, that's what it takes to pull that bait down to the ring down there, they call it. Chunky, when you going out again? Tried on some log jams? Yeah. Oh, yeah. I see what they're doing here now. That's a crew change vehicle. That's what that's about. Hopefully tomorrow. Okay. Well, good luck to you. I'll tell y'all one thing. This is the coldest 74 degrees I've sat in. I don't believe it's no 74 here. Wind blowing. Lord have mercy. I sat up here yesterday and burned up. I come out here in shorts today. That was a bad move. 74 would be nice. Yeah. That's what it's supposed to be today. The high. That December 74 degrees means storms in Mississippi. Usually. I sure hope not. Lord have mercy. Well, let's see. Did you just say you are cold and it's No, I said the high today is 74. I don't know what the temperature is right now, but it's nowhere close to 74. You get hit that around 2 o'clock, but it's cloudy and the wind's blowing. Yeah, so I got on shorts, Lisa, and my blood is thin, I reckon. Yeah, and you got 6 inches of snow on the ground. Oh, I apologize. Let me hush. Yeah, you scooping snow, and I'm sitting up here complaining I'm cold at 74, huh? It was 10. Ooh, 10. Lord have mercy. Oh, 10 inches. Oh, okay. Lord have mercy. I guess you're talking about 10 inches of snow, or you're talking about 10 degrees. Hopefully, just 10 inches of snow. Tinkerbell shared your video. Thank you, Tinkerbell. I hadn't even seen Tinkerbell in here. She must be on patrol this morning. It was 10 degrees. Oh, Lord. Yeah, buddy. Hey, Tinkerbell, thank you for sharing the link. Yeah, 10 degrees. Oh, no. Oh, gosh. I bet I hadn't seen 10 degrees in Mississippi, but I'm just trying to remember maybe 5 times in my whole life. And we usually don't get that cold. Hello, frustrations. How you doing, man? Thank y'all for stopping in. Yeah, yeah, I know it gets cold in Indiana. It gets cold in Kentucky and North Arkansas, but we just usually don't have that kind of weather. 15, 18 degrees is cold for down here. I'm about, oh, 100, I'm about 200 miles, 230 miles, maybe a little bit more north of the Gulf of Mexico. So 100, 200. Yeah, about 230 miles. I never have really measured it, but it's not over 250 miles from the Gulf. It sure looks like a fish could ease through here looking for something and get one of these baits. Yeah, that bluegill is cutting up, y'all seeing? That might be a good sign. Apparently not. I wonder what the water temperature is like on, say, the James River up there, or either the Potomac or the lower Susquehanna. I wonder what the water temps are up there already. That would be interesting to know. Three B, I imagine y'all's water temps are about the same. No, y'all's rivers are smaller. It's probably y'all's water probably still warm or fairly warm compared to the Mississippi. 'Hey, George, good to see you, man. Appreciate you swinging in. Lance, you got any idea what the water temps are up there where you fish in Wisconsin? And did the channel cats completely shut down? I don't. They bite all year, don't they? Don't they bite in the cold water? Yesterday was towboat day. Hey, Tinkerbell, how many? None. None. Just a few taps on this left pole. No takers. Skull Rush in here? I missed him. Hey, Skull Rush. $39 degrees. Okay. Yeah, see, that's at least 10 degrees colder than here. I'd like to know if the Susquehanna's 39, what would the Potomac or maybe the James, what would it be? Would it be about the same or warmer? I don't know. The Susquehanna is not a tidal river, is it? No. Because the Susquehanna, all that water, I think, drains by here. It eventually gets into Ohio and then comes into the Mississippi. I believe I'm right. I may be wrong. The Monongahela and the Susquehanna. And they finally shut that motor down on that little old towboat down there. He been making a world of noise. Hello, Annette. Appreciate y'all coming by, Annette. All of you guys and girls. Wished I could show you a fish. Uh-oh. Look at that big bluegill. And that pole on the right has got a hand-sized bluegill on it. And he just got excited. Wonder what that's about. Maybe it's a 50-pound flathead looking at him. Oh, heck, I'll have to look. I won that rod out in Oklahoma one time. George, I believe that's a Berkeley big cat rod. I was at a big catfish deal out in Oklahoma one time, and they gave a prize for the biggest fish over the weekend. And I caught a gar about 5 feet long, and they was gonna give the rod to somebody that caught a little old 2-pound catfish. And I was just standing there in the crowd, and I said, Mike, you said biggest fish now. You didn't say biggest catfish. And they gave me the rod. That old boy was upset that caught that little old catfish. But anyway, it was a prize. I think it's a Berkeley big cat or big game rod or something like that. I don't know. It's pretty old, and the writing it is a Berkeley rod. I could tell that, but it I can't read what kind it is. Pretty heavy rod though. I tell you what, if you saw, well, I know you saw that mud fest that night when I caught that 41. That's the rod I caught it on. Yeah, that's the rod. I believe that's the rod. It may not have been. I don't know. I don't remember. But I've caught a lot of fish on it through the years. Yeah, I painted it. I pulled a chunky. I got me some orange paint, and that's the reason it looks so tacky. It's okay, Rod. You know, when in the boat, I always use those ugly stick tigers, and I don't know. From the bank, it seems like these poles that are a little bit longer, I can cast them better, and that's the reason I got these out here. But I love those ugly stick tigers. They'll handle the big fish. You just now with these Piscifun 60s, I can cast. I've got a Piscifun on one of the tiger rods. Now, I can cast it good, but I don't know. I didn't bring. I just got these two. Okay, George Ray. Well, the construction crew is leaving. They're going down the river. I guess it'll be quiet around here for a while now, maybe. Oh man, look at that bluegill. Come on, bluegill. Something get him. Come on, fish. Y'all are wearing my patience thin. Real thin. Yep. I'm all for that, Richard. I'm all for it. I just don't know. This looks like such a good spot. Man, like I said yesterday, I believe in the summertime. This probably would be a good spot. This might not be a good wintertime place. Cold water. I don't know. And I could be all wet too. I may not know what I'm talking about, but it sure looks good to me. got rocks, got gravel. A lot of gravel out there, big gravel. That means shells, mussels. That usually means bait fish. That's right. That's all I can do is try. I'm gonna go down here.
Brandon Burton. Southbound, looking at you. What can we do for you? If you want.
I guess y'all can see those rocks, gravel. The bank is covered up with it. Oh, where that high water, when the water's really boiling up out down the river, it boils that gravel up at the bottom. That means a gravel bar out there, not a sand bar, but a gravel bar. And that usually holds fish. And this bank is covered with that gravel. Where it boils up out the bottom of the river. Yeah, I saw his video yesterday. Okay, thank you, Annette. Thank you for stopping in. Have a good day, young lady. I'm going to ease up here and get me a little jacket. Put my little jacket on. Keep the cold air off of my body. Who? Eat me another sausage and biscuit. Finish out my breakfast with a packet of mustard. Well, the towboat started now. I see one coming both ways, up river and down river. Big one coming up, a little bitty one coming down. I wonder where Chuck's coin rings is today. He must be deer hunting or something. Yep, maybe so. That one coming down the river couldn't even stir up a good mixed drink, but that one down coming up the river behind me is a big one. He'll stir something up. There's a little old bitty boat coming yonder. He just coming around that curve up there. They was frustrations yesterday. I don't know how many came by. I, I I don't. I'd be scared to say because before I went live, it was 3 or 4 went by, and they were steady. They were constant the whole all day for 5 something hours. I imagine it was 15 or so all total. But the traffic been real slim today. And I fished Sunday. Excuse me. I fished Sunday and didn't but one boat go by all day. Good idea. Yeah, they stir up the bottom and yeah, and fish. Well, listen, you watch the videos of those shrimp boats out there netting shrimp and other fish, and the gulls that follow around behind them. You know, the big flocks of seagulls that follow along behind those boats. Well, heck, fish do the same thing. They just under the water. Yeah, these fish do the same thing though. Frustration. They do the same thing. No different. No different at all. I don't believe. My stepfather used to say that a towboat bite was 7 minutes before the boat got to you and 7 minutes after it went by. So that gave you 14, 15 minute uh, time span there that the towboats affected the bite. He believed in it. And I mean, I paid attention to him sometimes. He'd be right. I believe that's a Coast Guard cutter coming down the river. I believe that's what I believe. That's the buoy. They're working the buoys. So that boat's coming pretty fast, and that cutter moves along at a good clip. The USS Patoka. I'm surprised that we hadn't seen any kayakers. So it's the time of the year you'll see some of them. Well, this is a little bit late in the year. Maybe they've all made it to New Orleans by now. But there's always a diehard or two that come down through here in the wintertime, paddling the length of the Mississippi River. I've dreamed of doing a lot of things in my life, but paddling down the Mississippi River never was one of them. And we have about as many European paddlers as we do American paddlers. Well, not really. It's more Americans do it, but through the years, I've pulled up on lots of them that didn't in a boat, and that they didn't speak English or not enough English to carry on the conversation. And then some of the Europeans, speaking good enough English to talk to you and ask you questions and get information. But there's a world of foreigners that come over here and paddle this thing. Yeah, that's the Coast Guard cutter there. You're checking the buoy line, make sure the buoys are in place. He's flying right along too. Well, that bluegill getting excited again. I don't know if they're armed or not. I would imagine they got some kind of. I don't know. I never thought about it. But they, you know how the channel is marked with red and green buoys. You know, I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. That's what they're doing, but that doesn't mean they're not.
To the upbound tug at mile marker 493. And back, go ahead, Skip. Good afternoon, Captain. You gonna be good with one whistle? For the one, I'm crossing over two. We'll go for the one. One whistle.
I don't know if they'd be armed or not, but that's the Patoka, Patoka. I don't know. That's a good question. I'll tell you this: down here where he is in Mississippi, the fight would already be going big time by the time they got to the Patoka, because everybody in Mississippi got a gun, at least four. Anyway. He might not ever have to even fire his. Hell, I'm sitting here with two right now. If the, if that boat's not armed, he's one of the few people around here that isn't. Mississippi's worse than Texas now when it comes to having a gun. All right, he's stirring it up, Joy. Frustration. Let's see. crocker gators. I carry because of the two-legged crocker gators, the ones that walk upright. Well, so far it didn't help. Oh, gars. No, I have eaten gar. I've eaten gar several times. And cold, hot gar is not bad. And if it's butchered and got rid of the bones, the little bitty bone, if it's butchered right, uh, gar is good. But you have to eat it when it's hot. It's not good, you know, like crappie or bluegill or catfish. I can reach in the refrigerator and get the plate out, and I can eat it cold. But gar, I can't get it. It won't. I can't swallow gar cold. Buffalo fish is the same way. Hot, it's good, but cold, it just. But yeah, you have to know how to butcher him to get that bone, to get all those little fine bones out of it. Oh man, look at here! Look, that's on that big bluegill. That's on that big bluegill, and that ain't that bluegill. You see that frustration? You see that right pole bend over? That's on a live bluegill big as my hand. That might be a flathead. Ooh, that excites me now. Ooh, yeah, you saw it. That wasn't that bluegill. He can't pull that pole over like that. Ooh, come on. It didn't act like a blue though. Act more like a flathead. The blue don't do all that. He grabs it and goes. He's like a hungry dog. I don't believe that bluegill could do that. sure thought he was fixing to go with it. Doggone. That's the best tug I've had in this hole. Maybe he'll come back. I don't know. Pulling it. Yeah. I don't know. Frustrations if I can't tell if that's him fooling with it or if that's a current pulling on that line. Jersey, we just had a good pull on that live bluegill on the right pole. He pulled it way down, but he turned it loose. And I don't know if he's still fooling with it or not. I can't tell. The pole is moving, but I can't tell if that's a current pulling on it. Acted like a flathead. I don't know. I thought it was gone. I thought that pole was gonna go to the bottom, to the river, the tip of it. I don't know. Might just be. Hey, Duggar. Yeah, I'm on leaving now. I'm sure not gonna bother. I might be gonna reel this other pole up and do something with it though. Cause ain't nothing happened over there in a while. Cause it's got a head on it, so. Oh, look at it. There he goes. There he goes. Did you see that? Yeah, buddy. I don't know if he tore that gill off of there or not. Dug that pole had just bent over on the right there. It's got a hand side live bluegill on it. And that's the second time that fish has come back to it. Now, he may have got him that time because that pole snapped a little bit when it came back up. We'll see. Yeah, he's still there. He was anyway, frustration. That's a flathead, I believe. That's weird. 49-degree water, but that's sure what it acts like. But I'm afraid he snapped him off of that end, tore him off that hook, and didn't get the hook. We'll see. Yep. I thought he had it too. Now that's not a circle hook. That's a big KO hook, 10-aught, 9-aught KO hook. Yeah, flathead. That's what I'm thinking too. And that is a. There he goes again. He's gonna fool around and get the tip of that hook, and I'm gonna nail his butt. He got it in his mouth right now. He got that bait in his mouth right now. I hope y'all can see that pole action. But until he takes off with it, I can't do anything about it. I mean, all I do now, if I snatch on it, is snatch it out of his mouth and tear the bluegill off the hook. Till he gets that hook, there's nothing I can do about it. Well, I'm gonna tell you what now. If he takes off, that's a circle. That's not a circle hook. That's a KO hook. You can bet I'm gonna hairlip him. That's a KO hook. I'm gonna try to snatch his damn eyes out. I believe that's probably a little flathead. No, not a little one, but not a giant. And he's trying to figure out how he's gonna eat that big old brim. Well, that's what I call myself doing when I let off on that reel some. I got the drag. I got the drag so screwed back on that thing so far that all you gotta do is touch that line and the clicker will snap a click. He got slack if he wants to run with it. That's kind of the way I fish those that live bait anyway. Is real slack, no drag hard. I got the drag turned way almost all. Well, it is all the way off actually. The only thing holding it is the bait clicker. Doug, what'd you say you call those butter cats? Butter? I never heard that one now. Butter cats? Now, I've never heard that one. I've heard them called Appaloosas, flathead, shovelhead. Never heard that term to describe them. I'm telling you, that is a big gill. He's easy to fillet in size. Easy. Big enough to fillet. Okay. Yeah, we'll catch them like that here too. They'll be beautiful yellow. What part of South Texas are you in?
Down here below Byerville Grain. Out here on the two, but I can go for the one, every how you want it. I just got 2 loads over there, just whatever good because I got little small stuff. Well, we'll see you on 2. Appreciate that, Orr.
All right, there he is.
Do the same, you, Chris.
That was that.
Brandon Buchanan.
That was either him or that gill kicking a little bit. That rod tip bounced, so that could be him trying to swallow that bait. Yeah, I listen to the towboats. Yeah, that's a marine radio, a Cobra. Channel 13 is what they monitor. It helps pass the time when you're out here by yourself, and I've just gotten in the habit of carrying it with me in my backpack. New Mexico, okay. South of Houston. Brazos there, man. Oh, yeah, that's right. You did tell me that. Well, I don't know. You got to be patient. What they say, anyway. Oh, well, wouldn't that fish hook up? Not a fish. Zero. Deputy sheriff come checking. That's who I was hollering at. Hey, Finn. Okay, tugboated. There you go. Finn, we had a little excitement here. Yeah, I probably will. I'm gonna give it a while before I check it. Because I'm thinking in this cold water, if it is a flathead, he's not gonna be as active as he would be if the water was warmer. And he may want that bluegill, and he just got to make up a game plan. I'm gonna give him plenty of time. Yeah, I may do something with that left rod. I don't think it's any doubt though. That's a flathead that was fooling with it. I don't believe it was a blue. And I'm gonna get that other rod up. Up with it. I'm pretty sure that bluegill's still alive. Get away from him, Walt. He was rattling that pole pretty good when I was out there at the end of it. Yeah, it's a big area. I'm on mine. It's about 3 or 4 acres, Doug. 3 acres, at least 3 acres. Yeah, it is. The river out there is going right to left. This water here is going left to right along the bank. You can see the poles, the lines are going to the right. And it's gravel out there. Big gravel, not pea gravel, big wash gravel. Yeah, I think so too. It may be more of a summertime place. I don't know if these fish move in here when it's cold water or not. I don't know. It's just looks like a good spot. And now this pole with this bluegill is not very far out there. I threw it out, but I reeled it in. It's at the bottom of this slope. You know, this bank is sloping down to the river. It's kind of down there. It's in deeper water, but it's at the base of this where the river flattens out. I wanted to be sure and have it close to the bank since I had that live bait on there, because that's where the bluegill would be swimming around if they were out there. So I wanted that bluegill where he would naturally be. Yeah, this Mississippi River is pretty to me now. I love it. No, that boat's not that far. He's probably about a mile from me right now. 3/4 of a mile. He's not that far. We got another one coming around the curve up there right in front of him, southbound. Well, oh yeah. I've got a log book that goes all the way back into the 80s. I started 80, I guess it's 85, 86. I kept a log every day. I wrote all that stuff down. I've had 2 people copy that log, take it and pay the expense of having it copied. I'm kind of glad because they're young folks, and they'll use it. In fact, mine is 2 books full. Yeah, I think so. They it shortens the learning curve, that's for sure. Well, I reckon it's about time to check this bluegill. I think he's still on there though. Hey, Alvin, 10 more minutes. All right.
Steve Daines is southbound here at Marsville Grain Elevator. I hear Marsville Grain Elevator southbound. Steve Daines.
Doggone, I wish I could have caught that fish. Man, that hurts my heart. Uh-oh. I ain't no need of checking that bait. That bait's still on there. You see that frustration? No need of pulling that bait in and checking it. He just cut up again. That's right. Oh yeah, you giving them the lingo. Yeah, when they say the one whistle, that's left to left. And when they say two whistles, that's right to right. Now, I don't know the starboard and port. I get all that confused, but I know what it means. Frustrations, you can put that clock up because that bluegill is plenty lively. He just kicked and bounced and cut up a little bit. You can take that 10-minute timer and cut it off. Seeing bouncing. I guess Mr. Flatty figured he couldn't eat him. Went on about his business. Dang, I wish I'd have had a small one out there. Small gill on there. Hey, Kelly. No, we had a couple of good pulls on a hand-sized live bluegill here. Had a little excitement, but he didn't hook up. And other than that, it's been pretty skunky. Had a little excitement though when that pole went over pretty good 2 times that big bluegill was on. Thought something good was fixing to happen, but it didn't. I think I'm just gonna start saying I'm out here to watch the towboats. So I've just got the fishing poles with me. That's about all I do is watch towboats. Hey, Duggar, were you on the Mississippi River or what river were you working on? Welcome back, Dallas. A little old bite on that skipjack head. Just a tap. That's all it do. No takers, just tappers. Yeah, that's what I started doing. Watching barges and thinking about fishing. A lot of barges and a little fishing. There we go. Okay. Yeah, Dallas, I thought something good was going to happen when that pole went over with that gill on it. And that's a hand-sized gill. It went over twice, but he just didn't get the hook. I thought something good was about to happen. Oh, well, I was already doing quite a bit of skunking before you showed up, Jersey. Don't take the blame for it, man. I think we having a joint effort. Yeah, we in this together. Oh man, you leave Kelly alone, there, friends. He's a little obnoxious, but he's okay. He's a good guy when he's asleep. I watched him interviewing Shorty and Telly last night. Yeah, I don't know. I sure thought I was gonna get a good fish, but apparently he went on his way. I think that gill is just too big for him, and he wasn't quite big enough to get him down. Just wasn't big enough. Well, they were pouring it on him last night. That J Dog, that J Dog was pouring it on Chris last night, man. And Van too. Van was too. Oh my goodness. Hey, Mike's fishing home. or going in late night with Mike's Fishing Home is like going into the United Nations. There's people from everywhere in his show. He's gonna have to go to college and learn how to speak a bunch of these languages. Okay, Doug. Eat good, man. Got to keep up your nourishment. Ho, 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 ho. Well, it may be reaching that 74 degrees. It's getting warm now. There's 3B back in the house. just about the time I said it's warming up, the phone went dark on me. And I hate this damn phone. That screen gets dark and I can't see the writing anymore. The chat barely can make it out sometimes.
In Buchanan, northbound, below Possum.
Yeah. Well, this iPhone, I carried it up there to the AT&T place here last week, I guess. And there's no setting on here where you can keep it bright all the time when it's out in the sun. It's something about it. It'll cut itself back. And they told me that's just a bad point on these iPhone 11s. And I don't know, when that sun gets real bright, it cuts itself down to dark mode or something, and you can't see the chat. It's been cloudy all day, but the sun came out for about 5 minutes and it cut itself down again. I'm gonna build me some kind of shade to go over this thing to keep that sun off of it. I got a piece of Lescan or Lescan, whatever you call it at home, that I can do it with and paint it black, and that'll keep the sun off of it. I'm gonna have to do something if I'm gonna keep doing this. And it's not heat, it's brightness. and they told me there wasn't anything that could be done about it. The main man up there did. It sure is a pain, though. Yeah. Yeah, I've heard a lot of that, Kelly.
You Dane, go ahead. Be fine. I just got 2 loads doubled up.
Hey, Jeremy. Hey, Slinging Rod. Yeah, man. Thank you.
Go ahead. Got 2 loads doubled up there. It's 2 big loaded 30s. We'll do it on 2 if that's good for you, Skipper, or long enough room both of us. I'm good with it there. Steve back to Redeemer. Let's come be awful close to that turn up there. That water's awful squirrely in there, so might better hang out down there, Skipper. I don't think the hole that long, but I don't want to round that turn there and get all messed up with you there. So, see, we'll just hang out down there. I'll be there shortly. I'd have to look at it, yeah. Awful close to that turn right there. So we slide down on top of nobody. So we'll be there in a little bit there. So thank you. Hey. All right, Skipper. We'll be there as quick as we can there. Thank you. Roger that. Have a good holiday.
All right, people. I think I'm fixing to call this thing off. I had about all I can stand today after all day long yesterday. I appreciate everybody stopping in. I wish we could have at least caught one fish, but it is what it is. I thank all y'all for coming in, and I'll check with y'all later. See you later.